And welcome in to Top Dawgz NFL version here on Pick Dawgz YouTube, pickdawgz.com. I'm Mark Zinno. He's Jeremy Kahn. Good news is, if you guys caught the college show that's now live on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, we had some technical difficulties with the videos and the things.
Mark screwed it up.
Okay, fine, fair enough. We figured it out. But also, if you go to the YouTube page and you see the title for Top Dawgz, which is on the top of the videos tab, why are you dressed like John Daly's long-lost cousin?
Well,
I mean, you look ridiculous.
You know what? I get tired of this. As I said to you.
Hold on, you look fine now, but like that picture that we have, you need to update that.
You know, I told you this before. I said I dress slightly better than Adam Sandler, and I can live with that. I can live with that.
Actually, you used to hoop like Adam Sandler too back in the day. He's a closet good hooper.
Yeah, well, closeted a lot of things, right? Yeah. So no,
you weren't that good at flag football, though. That I know.
I'll get out of here. You know what? You know what happens when we get out there.
Exactly what happened. I covered you like a glove, and you didn't catch the pass.
All right. So can I say that? I'm going to tell this story because Zinno was on another team playing flag football, and if any of you guys have seen Anita Marks on ESPN. She came to town. I ended up producing her show. That's how Zinno and I met. I got fired from a radio station, came over, and then
it was the three of them. We carried.
So she, the first time I met her, I picked her off and took it to the house when she was playing with the guys. But then we got into a co-ed league down in the city, and Mark was talking trash. And I said, "Get over here and line up on me. Get over here and line up on the fat old white guy." And sure enough, I told Anita what I was going to run. I'm doing an out and up, and I'm going to make this out look so good that Zinno's going to eat it for lunch.
And I stayed with him all the way.
Yeah, because Zinno's faster than me. I ran an out. He bid on it, and I got up the field, and she overthrew me by about 50 yards.
Did overthrow you? I don't think it would have been completed regardless, but she did overthrow.
Okay, you were trailing my ass. Maybe you'd have caught up eventually.
I got closing speed, baby. I got closing speed.
Yeah, but I miss those days. It was fun.
Yeah. And then Jeremy and I used to just go out drinking, and that would be fun too.
So we went to Miami once, and Zinno's looking at the way I'm dressed. He goes, "No, wear one of my shirts." And I'm like, "That damn thing ain't gonna fit." What did it say? Smet? Is it SMET? Is that what it said? And he had like white shoes, white belt, white pants, white shirt.
Christian Audigier was really popular back in like the early 2000s. You know, those two shirts. Yes, I'm not afraid to admit I wore one. So anyway, now that we took a trip down memory lane, as you and I could tell, Jeremy and I have a lot of stories to recount. But we do have 5 games here to do for you in the NFL, just like we did yesterday at college. We'll give you a show best bet at the end of this, actionable info across the board. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the Pick Dawgz channel. Give a thumbs up to this video, a like. Tell us what games you're on. Drop some comments in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back at you in the comment section. And if you say something mean about me, I'll piss you off because I have nothing better to do at my time. Jeremy does. So let's get started here. You ready for this? I'm so excited. You guys have no idea. Watch what's going to happen. Are you ready? I mean, we have fixed. Oh, no, we didn't. Damn it. There we go. Now I got it. It's going to take me a little while to get used to the graphics, but here we are. First game we're going to start with on the board. As you can see right there, everything's posted. I don't have to read it. I have to say it. Bears a 5.5-point dog here against the Lions, total of 47. Look, the Bears did not requite themselves well in week 1. Neither did the Lions. Both of these teams have real offensive problems last week. Negative EPA per play on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, the quarterback play was less than stellar. Let's look at Chicago first. They looked good for a half for the most part, and then Caleb Williams fell apart. Ben Johnson fell apart. He made a derelict coaching decision, although I found out he actually did tell his kicker to kick it out of the end zone. The idiot just didn't do it. But nonetheless, you know, you begin to look at this Chicago Bears team and this Lions team. Neither one of these teams wants to start 0-2. And you know what I found out this week, by the way? 0-2 teams since 1990. Teams that start 0-2, only 0.9% of them have made the Super Bowl.
But I feel like you got, and that's true because the old adage was if you go 0-2, you're not making the playoffs.
But I'm just
now with the expanded playoffs.
But 0.9% have made the Super Bowl. So less than 1% of teams that start 0-2 since the expanded playoff in 1990 have made the Super Bowl. So for teams that had Super Bowl aspirations, this is a death knell if you start 0-2. We'll get to the Chiefs coming up later on in the show. But I think Chicago needs to go back to running the football in this game. and not put so much on the passing offense and Caleb Williams. I think the Lions defense will correct from last week and their discrepancies they had against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. You now have the Bears going out on the road after a home loss in the opener. And the Bears are on short rest, no less, too. A road game after Monday night, Jeremy. Back in the old days, that used to be a kiss of death. You'd always fade the team on the road after Monday night. Now that players are a little bit more, acclimated and in better shape, some of that stuff is negated. But I would never lay 5.5 here with the Lions, but I don't trust the Bears either. I'll probably pass on this game. Put a gun to my head, I'll take the Lions at home.
I'm kind of in that same boat as you. I mean, we want to talk about some of the bigger games and matchups, and I'm not going to force anything and sit here and tell you, like, if we do go over the game, I'm not on it, but this is how I see it. And that's kind of what we're doing with this one, because I agree with you. I think there's so many better places to put your money. And I think the question would be, like, in your mind, who wants it more? Does Ben Johnson want to go up there and shove it on his former team that he left? Do the Lions want to show him what he's missing? I'm sure all of those things are true. But you have to think the Lions are just going to play better than they did. And after watching Green Bay and Washington, and I know it's a short week for Washington, Green Bay looked really good. I'm going to take my chances with the Lions here, minus the 5.5. I don't love it.
No.
If I were going to bet this game, I would find another spot I like, and I would do a 2-team tease and take it down and just need them to win the game. So that's probably where I would go.
You, like me, don't believe in Stanley Wong. I don't care what Stanley Wong does with his money. I'll do what I want with my money. That's what I always tell everybody. When it comes to teasing, do what you want with your money. That's fine. It's a sucker's bet anyway. Do what you want. Let me see what happens when I hit this button. Nope, that wasn't right. Let's go back to the other.
You'll get it down at some point. I'm
just checking
it on the fly. Maybe week 17 you'll have it.
Just in time. What about this? No, that didn't work either. Okay. Well, since we're here, let's move on to the next game between the Steelers and the Seahawks. This line, when I made these video things, this line's actually moved. Steelers are now a 3-point favorite. Seattle, I'll tell you this much. Seattle this year, I told everybody at the beginning of the season, just bet all their unders because they're going to come in because their defense is great and their offense is putrid. What do we know about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jeremy? They can't beat anybody by margin. Last time I checked, the field goal is not by margin. I feel like this is a gift. It is an absolute gift with the Steelers here at a field goal or less. I expect this game to be like 16-10. Like, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of scoring at all. So for the fantasy nerds out there, I would sort of leave your Steelers on the bench personally. But I don't think Mike Tomlin is going to have back-to-back bad defensive games. I think we can fairly say that would be uncommon for him, right? I know they didn't play great against the Jets. I think they correct here. But I also think the Seattle offense is putrid. And Sam Darnold looked lost last week against what we now found out is a very unhealthy 49ers team. So I like the under here, and I'll take – look, if you wanted to tease Seattle up to 8.5, I would totally endorse that. But if you're playing the Steelers, I wouldn't suggest you tease against the other side. So I think you go one way or the other, but I lean Steelers here big.
Yeah, and I kind of disagree with you on this. We talked a little bit about it. You felt very confident, which gave me a little bit of pause where I'm going,
that's right.
All right. Yeah, but then I realized you were wrong, and I decided, hold on. We got the Seahawks here. Seahawks defense looked fantastic last week. I think they're going to look great all year long under Mike McDonald. We watched him in Baltimore. Rex Ryan was trying to make fun of him the same way he was making fun of Mike McDaniel down in Miami, calling him, look at the genius. Look at this wonderkin. This defensive genius is in here, and the Ravens defense looks terrible. And then all he did was win the Triple Crown on defense the next year and then leave and get a head coaching job. I think he's fantastic. I wish he was still in Baltimore. On the flip side of it, we got the DK Metcalf revenge game, if you're into that sort of thing. Does Aaron Rodgers pepper him a little bit more? I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to look as good as he did last week. I think Seattle makes him look like he did last year. I think Seattle upsets him. There's so many things that jump out to me at this game. The fact that Pittsburgh is only a 3-point favorite in their home opener. It's their home opener against Seattle coming all the way to the East Coast to play. We talked a little bit about, some of the teams going left to right or whatever and what it does for them.
That would be east
I think
to
Seattle shows up. I think they win.
This isn't political. Don't make it going from left to right. It's east to west.
Sorry.
Look, I mean, I agree with you. There's a world where the Steelers could blow this thing. But if you'd like to really look at teams on the opposite end of the spectrum, when you talk about EPA per play, if you're into that stat, Seattle is negative. Steelers have one of the highest, only really behind the Colts and the Ravens from week 1. So they were very
Let me ask you,
on offense. Yes.
how good do you think the Steelers defense is? Because I thought the Steelers defense was going to be good and the Jets defense was going to be good. And I'm not trying to overreact from what I saw in week 1, but that was the highest scoring game until the Bills played the Ravens.
Look, I think the Steelers defense is going to be the Steelers defense. I just don't think you're going to get 2 bad performances in a row. And I think the Steelers, the Seattle offense is a huge downgrade from what the Jets is. I think in weapons, I think in quarterback play, I think in play calling all around. Like Mike McDonald has taken over and basically decided we run the ball and play defense around here. That's it. And that's how they're going to try to beat you. And if the Steelers could stop the run, and let's go back to last week. And let me just pull this up here real quick because I'm curious to see the rushing yards from last week that were not Justin Fields in the game, because I think that really is too. That's
while you're looking it up. I mean, I'll sit here and talk about some of the other, like
of 107 yards on the ground. So
okay,
they were able. There was 4 points. I mean, Justin Fields had 48. He was next. The other 2 guys, Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, had nothing. But that's where it's really the key, right? The key is going to be for the Steelers on the defensive line. Can they stop Seattle from running the football? If they can't, you're right. They're going to have a tough time, and Seattle can win this thing. But
what do you think they move Ramsey around or kind of do what some other teams have done with him? Like the Rams eventually put him at slot corner, and he was kind of the guy that was just helping in the run game and making plays. The Ravens did the same thing with Kyle Hamilton for a little bit.
You and I know the Steelers from our time together in Baltimore, and Tomlin doesn't do that. I mean, he did it with Polamalu a little bit, but that was a safety, not a corner. Polamalu got to play wherever he wanted. But most of his corners stayed to one side of the field.
Because, I mean, either way, however he does it, I still think at this point of their careers that JSN running routes and that's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, if you look at this guy, I loved him out of college. He's become a number 1 for them. We got to see more of it. I think their big play ability, if they can run the play action, that he could have a big game.
Yeah. Again, I don't think your points on Seattle are invalid. I just generally don't want to overthink. Steelers at home less than a field goal or less, to me, feels like the opportune spot for them. Again, and I've been the only person I know who's been as high on the Steelers as I am this year. Took a future on them to win the AFC North. Aaron Rodgers over 3,200 passing yards. I mean, Jeremy, 3,200 passing yards is 189 yards a game in 17 games. You're telling me
got to make 17 games. That's it.
That's it. You're betting. If you bet under, you betting he's getting hurt.
Yeah,
you should have found out, will Aaron Rodgers be hurt? Yes or no? And that really is what it boils down to. So I'm really high on the Steelers, and I think this is a prime spot for them. But, you know, the interesting part is we just talked about teams going 0-2. Next week is a fun week to bet in the NFL, and we'll have a good show because the 0-2 teams are supremely desperate. I want to find as many 0-2 teams to bet on next week as possible.
And the one thing I would say, too, is I would check if there's any 0-2 teams that haven't played a home game, and then you get that week 3 home opener.
The New York Giants will be one of them, but they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that dog ain't hunting, bud.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. That defense is going to make Patrick Mahomes like miserable. Speaking of making Patrick Mahomes miserable, Denver Broncos could do that later this year. Probably not. This is your favorite game on the board. Obviously, you're a Colts fan.
I'm not really a Colts fan anymore. I kind of pull for the Ravens. So, full disclosure.
Whoa. You had a divorce and you didn't call me?
No. What we haven't talked. Like when I realized when Peyton Manning left and went to Denver, I was a Peyton Manning fan and not a Colts fan. Because when he went to Denver, I was pulling for him to beat the Colts every time they played him. And then afterwards, it was just kind of like I did like Andrew Luck and all that.
I love Andrew Luck. My man crush on Andrew Luck is extensive.
Yeah. I mean, look, the guy was phenomenal. He was the highest rated quarterback to come out in the draft and going all the way back to Peyton Manning at that point.
You realize how many bad players he dragged to the postseason every year?
Yeah. That team was awful.
The rest of the other 52 guys on that roster stunk.
And I always said there was something weird about him. He was the guy when you put a great hit on him, he would tap you on the head and say, "Nice one." And you're like, "What the hell's wrong with you, buddy?"
Nice one. I have internal bleeding, but good job.
Yeah. No, but so when that happened, I pull for the Ravens, but I feel like I don't have a team because I don't live and die by them by any stretch. And I think that helps my gambling just because
you should root for the Bills like I do.
The Bills?
Yes.
So you get disappointed every year?
Yes.
Well, so Joey Bosa's on the Bills now, right?
It was like my marriage. It's just disappointed all the time.
Joey Bosa's on the Bills, is that right?
I'll let that one slide.
I'm not touching anything about your marriage.
So
I wanted to bring up, it's one of my favorite lines that Joey Bosa with that schnoz of his can smoke a cigarette in the rain and it won't get wet. So, all right, where are we at?
Anyway, 2.5 points here. I was somebody last week who teased the Broncos down to 1.5 because, again, basically my thought process was the amount of rookie quarterbacks who win their first road start is very small. And I didn't think Cam Ward was going to be able to do it, although Denver decided to make it a lot more close than it should have been. I'm still not on the Bo Nix hype train yet. I think the general consensus is that he's going to have flashes of really good play, but he's also going to have some stinkers and head scratchers like he did last week. I would love to tease the Colts here. I mean, I would absolutely love to do it. The problem is I don't know the Colts are as good as their week one showed us. I think that the Dolphins are bad. And I don't know that and what we know this is that like Daniel Jones against really good defenses will always struggle. Right?
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to run the ball as well easily this week. There's going to be no passing game. And prop bet, Daniel Jones to throw a pick this week. Yes.
I like the Colts in this spot, and I do think they are, to a degree, for real. I think they're a playoff team. At the beginning of the year, I picked them to go to the playoffs.
That's not saying much because they're playing the AFC South. I mean, they're going to win the division.
I think I still like the Texans to win the division. I think the Jags are going to be good too. Yeah. But with this Colts team, I like Daniel Jones for comeback player of the year, as I told everybody. Yeah. As long as Aiden Hutchinson doesn't play a full season, I think he'd have a shot to win it. I think that's Aiden Hutchinson's award to lose this year if he plays well. But I do think taking a flyer on Daniel Jones, I talked about it before week one. But this is – I wasn't a Bo Nix guy, and I got killed last year from people when I talked about Bo Nix after the season he had. I want to see him in year two to see how this looks because now there's tape. There's you can go off of the film, kind of figure out what his weaknesses are. I do think Sean Payton will put him in the best spot to succeed, but this is their first road game this year and going to Indy. Indy's a tough place to play. It does get loud in there. It's fast. And the one thing that you talk about with Denver is you bring up Patrick Surtain being the best corner in football and can shut down anyone. Michael Pittman's a different beast if he winds up on him, but the Colts have plenty of weapons in the passing game. Tyler Warren's another one. I think they use their tight ends with Ali Cox and Warren this week. I think they win this game outright.
I wanted to try that again while you were still talking. Let me see. Now talk. Now do it again.
Talk what? What do you want me to say? What are you looking for?
I was just checking to see if it worked. That's all.
Okay.
Let me put me back over here. I feel better on this side. Okay. I'm going to continue to screw around with this until I get it right. Yeah, look, I don't disagree. The one constant I feel like I have a solid grip on when you talk about, the certainties in this game. If we want to try to eliminate variance, right? Then the Broncos defensively are the one thing that we know will be a fact, right? That they have the best defense on the field. They have the better defense across the board, and you're looking at a very shaky quarterback play when it comes to Daniel Jones. And I just it's a hard place for me to trust him because here's my fear with this is a game where call it 17-16, right? 17-16 Denver kind of game, right? A late turnover, a bad decision by Jones, a pick six or something puts Denver outside the number. Can't control it. Nothing you can do about it. You're probably right for picking Indy. And that's what kind of scares me.
I was just thinking about it. What's going to happen in the Pittsburgh-Seattle game is Pittsburgh's going to win by 3. And then and it's just the push, inevitable.
That's the push.
No, but I could see that. Like, again, anytime I see a dog that's under 3 points, if I don't think they can win the game, then what's the point of betting them?
Right,
Exactly. So there's a lot of times that I look at these close spreads and I love the dog and end up being on the lucky side of it where what's the game? The Jets. So the Jets last week, I had the Jets plus the points, and you get kind of lucky there because of the way that the end of the game finished.
Right. Yeah. The game lands on 2 of all things. Again, the teasing aspect of the Colts, I really, really wanted to tease the Chiefs plus 1.5 to 7.5 and the Colts up to 8.5, but just something was telling me the Colts may end up burning that tease to the ground. I wanted to see another, teasing early in the season brings in a lot more variance. I felt confident in doing it last week with the Broncos, just situationally given what it was. But yeah, I feel like the Colts here present a lot of variance that I'm not willing to get into. So wish we had better for you there. All right. Speaking of the Chiefs, let's just get this updated. I know what the graphic says here. I'm still seeing Chiefs plus 1.5.
That's what I got
at a bunch of shops. I will tell you this much. I pay the extra juice for my sanity in these spots, right? Like I don't need to worry about it landing on one or anything like that. So I don't mind paying a little extra juice. And I think as you get closer to kickoff, don't be surprised to see this flip. I think KC's a favorite by the time this thing all goes off here.
Kind of like the Ravens and Bills last week?
Yeah, pretty much. And the money was, the steam was wrong. As I said, I don't think the Chiefs are starting 0-2. Patrick Mahomes has never started 0-2 at any point as a starter. And I'll do this, Jeremy. With 0.9% of teams that start 0-2 going to the Super Bowl, whatever the outcome of this game is here, because I will probably take the Chiefs. If I do take the Chiefs and I'm wrong, the next bets I'll make are the Ravens to win the AFC and the Bills to win the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think when you look at the AFC, there's 3 teams you're going to talk about primarily, and that's with all due respect to some of these other teams that may have visions of grandeur. Like
all due respect.
With like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and the AFC South and the Chargers and all these other teams that hope they're going to make the run. I think this is the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs to lose. Ultimately, I think 2 of those teams wind up in the AFC Championship, and Kansas City's always been there. So it's like, how do you not pick them? You brought up a bunch of great points with this. I love Andy Reid with extra time. I love the revenge spot off of the Super Bowl. I love the fact that people are now down on Kansas City. I even talked to a buddy of mine. I go on his national show. He's a Chiefs fan. He goes, I think this is the year that we finally take that huge step back. I'm like, you guys lost a game in Brazil. You're going to be fine. This team, and again, if you look at the Eagles, their secondary, and I don't think that, Dallas did a good job exposing it. CeeDee Lamb's just got to catch the damn ball. I'm worried about the Philadelphia Eagles with a little bit of this Super Bowl hangover. And as I've said this before, you look at what the Chiefs have and what they've been able to do. I think they're going to be able to move the ball in the Eagles. And they've been a great home team. They've been a great team after the bye. Yep.
Do you think Andy Reid is getting out-coached by the same team twice in a 3-game span?
No, and I'm not even sure that he got out-coached by him. I just think the players were better on that side.
Okay.
I think the Eagles got hot. I think Andy Reid basically undresses every coach in this league with the plays that he calls. He is brilliant.
But, again, it didn't happen in the Super Bowl. I'm sure – the Eagles will look at this and go, let's just do the same thing we did 2 games ago.
And they're going to make adjustments.
Yes, and Andy Reid will make it. Like, that's the other part of it for me. Like, I look at it and I don't think that Andy Reid is going to get out-coached twice. The Chiefs know what is on the line here for them, and them starting 0-2, possibly with the rest of the division, all having another game in hand with them, and them being 0-2, because think about it. Los Angeles and Las Vegas play each other Monday night, so you would have 2 teams that are 2-0, possibly in the Chargers and the Broncos, and you'd be 0-2. Tough to get. It's a tough hole to dig out of. That's why it's really hard to come back from that. But
by the way,
I'm
just going to say, anytime we bring up Andy Reid, we got to go back to his punt, pass, and kick competition when he was a kid. If you guys haven't seen it, he looks like a grown man that's competing against kids in a punt, pass, and kick competition. That's how much bigger he was than all those other kids. It's one of the funniest photos you'll ever see.
Yeah, I mean he wears a lot of Hawaiian shirts now.
Yeah. And he's got his Waffle House menu with all the plays on it, which I like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's not a Waffle House menu. I think the guy in the stands that's pretending to be him has a Waffle House menu.
That's what it is.
So.
I like it when he says nuggies in the commercial. Maybe some more of those nuggies. Okay. Well, we'll move on from nuggies. Final game before we get you guys our show best bet between the Falcons and Vikings Sunday night here. There were 4.5s popping up, or early in the week there were 4.5s. I think we're down to 3.5 now with the Falcons and the Vikings. JJ McCarthy looked lost for 3 quarters and then figured out how to play in the NFL for the final quarter of a football game. I don't know what you're going to get from him. I don't necessarily think that was the Bears defense. I think the guy was legitimately overwhelmed in his first start. He's going up against a Falcons team that loses a game at home to Tampa Bay that for all intents and purposes they should have won. They took a lead. Their defense gave it back. Idiot kicker misses the extra point for the Buccaneers. Then the other idiot kicker on the other side misses a 44-yard shot to send the game to overtime. By the way, and I'm covering this here in Atlanta, the Falcons, I have never seen an organization more derelict in handling situations like this than what they're doing with their kicker. It's ridiculous. They signed John Wilkes Booth, whatever his name is, John Murray Parker, whatever 3-named assassin he is.
John David Booth.
John Murray Parker, John Parker Romo, Tony Romo, Parker Romo, right? That's what it is?
I don't remember who they signed. Is that the kid's name? You're in Atlanta. You tell me.
John Parker. There's a Romo in there. So yeah, he's a kicker. John Parker Romo. That's who it is.
That's why he doesn't matter. I don't need to know his name.
Yeah. So anyway, they still have Young Wei Koo in on the roster, and I guess they're trying it out. And as of today, the special teams coordinator said they're still figuring out who's going to kick on Sunday. Here's the problem with taking the Falcons, and I'll say this all year long. I think Penix is the real deal. I think he's going to be good. How good, I don't really know, but I think he's going to be good. He's going to be a good starting quarterback in this league. They have all the weapons on offense that they need. Drake London did practice yesterday. He's going to play on Sunday. All accounts are, at least they're saying that at this point in time. The defense has been revamped. They actually added pass rushers. They've got some work to do. I'm not a huge fan of Jeff Dolberg. When he was here the first time, the defense wasn't good. So you know what you do when you're looking for a new defense? Bring back the old guy that was here the last time when the defense. Anyway, it's typical Falcons front office moron moves. But it goes back to exactly what I'm going to say next, is that this coaching staff may be bad, really bad. And it's hard for me to bet them in games. I bet them last week with the points, and I didn't win.
They were my top play.
Because their coaches are dumb.
I'm Mark in the NFL. I'm 7-2 right now, and one of my losses is the damn Falcons and what they did. The other one would have been the Carolina over last week, and we had that Thunder delay. Not that it would have gone over, but they had plenty of opportunities. But this Atlanta team, they're hard to figure out because I like a lot of the pieces on offense. I'm still like mesmerized by the fact that Kyle Pitts isn't just a god in this league after watching him in college, and he looks anything but that. If you watched him in college and you're seeing him as a tight end, what he's doing, you're going, this guy's going to be a superstar. He's an athletic freak.
He's not playing. He's not playing Missouri and Vanderbilt anymore.
Well, that's also true. But when I look at the team, I do love Drake London. Bijan Robinson's one of my favorite players. I've told people, like, when you're betting is what is it? Bijan. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, Bijan.
Bijan.
Yeah, like his mustard. I got you. This is going to drive him nuts because I'm going to keep calling him Bijan now that he corrected Bijan. No, but with him, like he showed you can get over 100 yards receiving. He can get over 100 yards on the ground. Buck's a little bit better.
18 touches last game was not enough.
Especially after you give him 2 touches and he scores a 50-yard touchdown right off the bat. So, I do feel like Atlanta kind of screwed the pooch last week. This is a weird one because anytime I see Atlanta playing Minnesota, this is when I take my hat off to Michael Vick for scoring a touchdown in overtime when I had the Atlanta plus, what was it, plus 3.5?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I had it the other way. I had the Vikings and he scored the touchdown and we were minus.
Yeah.
So did not help me out at all. But I always think about that matchup.
The Kirk Cousins Bowl.
Yeah. That's true. He didn't even get his revenge game. Maybe they put him in for a little bit.
No, they probably don't. Let me ask you this much, and here's the other problem, and I will remind people this, and this is a big thing. The Falcons are on their third string right tackle. Why is that important? Because Michael Penix is a lefty, and that is his blind side against a very violent, highest blitz rate in the league defense in the Minnesota Vikings. Last year, they were the highest blitz rate in the league with Brian Flores.
That's the defensive coordinator there. He loves to put pressure up.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to lay 3.5 with JJ McCarthy. Certainly don't want to do that. It'd be Atlanta or pass for me. But this feels like a game that could get away from the Falcons as you go deeper into the game. Because, and here's the problem with the coaching staff. Like, here's my thing, Jeremy. And Zach Robinson, who's the OC for the Falcons, who is suspect at best as a play caller, right? He's two things. One, I don't really trust him in key spots. I think they're going to end up throwing more than they want to, which is bad. And furthermore, they are committed to Michael Penix out of the pistol. Like, here's what's going to happen, Jeremy. I want you to watch this. There'll be a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1, and they'll be in the stupid pistol with the quarterback 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and the running back another 4 yards behind him. So when I need 1 yard, I'm going to turn around and give it to a guy 8 yards behind me.
Yeah. Or Atlanta, as they got down to the 1 yard line, they decided to go right from right to left,
Jet
handing
sweep.
the ball off. Yeah, like, come on, dude, what are you doing? But again, the problem I have with this game and why I scratch it off and I'm not betting it, even though it's an island game and you know people are going to be watching, and is I literally could see anything happen. I know you're big in game flow and kind of how the game's going to play out and doing like. It wouldn't shock me to see both offenses struggle against these defenses because I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. I agree with you. I've seen some good signs from Michael Penix Jr. I feel like he's developed a great rapport with Drake London. He just needs to get it with the other guys to see how it's going to look. I thought Ray McLeod looked good last week, and seeing how much more they'll use him as a gadget player. But like on the flip side, watching Atlanta's defense, Tampa Bay pretty much did whatever they wanted with them after the first quarter. Because they looked lost in the first quarter, but Atlanta did nothing to put them away. It was still 7-0. So that's why I stayed away from this. If you force me to pick, I think I'd take Atlanta plus the points, but I think the Vikings win.
Yeah. Again, if you're not a Stanley Wong guy, see if you can tease this up to 9. I mean, anything over 8 to me.
Automobile? Sorry, Wong.
Falcons are good. If you don't, Stanley Wong is the guy who sort of, I guess he invented the Wong teaser, Yeah. His first name was Stanley. So for years, I've kind of taken a dump on him. Like, Stanley, I'll do whatever I want. Because you have to cross 2 key numbers, and the key numbers are 3 and 7 typically. So these standard Wong teasers, I don't care. I don't mind crossing 10 at all. If I get a 4.5, I'll take it to a 10.5. I think that's perfectly acceptable. All right, that does it for our games here that we have looked at. Now let's get to our show Best Bet. And we're going to do it like official. Let's get to rotation number 174357. No, let's not do that. We are going to look at the Los Angeles Rams and the Tennessee Titans game in Nashville. Rams laying 5.5, total 41.5. You and I both agree the Titans is the side here. Tell the folks why.
Yeah, man. When I look at this game, so first off, I watched both games last week. The Titans should have beat the Broncos. If when it comes down to it, if Calvin Ridley can hold on to a couple passes, I think that game's totally different.
Or maybe if Cam Ward decides that 106 miles an hour doesn't need to be the speed you throw a football to your receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he humped that thing up there. And even seeing Cam Ward's dad in the stands being like, oh, God damn it.
Somebody catch that, man. I don't know, because your son threw a 106 mile an hour laser.
As I look deeper into the numbers, I think Cam Ward looked way better than what people may have thought in that game. And coming home to face a Rams team for their home opener, his first opportunity to play in front of the Tennessee Titans fans. They have a good defense. That front line is going to wreak havoc. And if you thought the Rams had some issues with the Texans front, I think they have the same issues here with the Titans. And I think we have to take a long look at the Texans. I don't know how healthy Matt Stafford is coming back and trying to play through a back injury, which that damn thing's just going to linger. I have a bad back. I got a bad front. But the back, the back is just, it goes at any given time. And now you have these monsters chasing you around on the field. You're taking hits left and right. And even in a game at home, they just looked okay. And they were fortunate that the Texans screwed up so that they could win that game. So I think the Titans are the right spot. I would not be shocked if they won. I'm taking them plus the points, though.
I mean, how do you not love the under 41.5 in this game?
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like, the Rams offense looks bad. It doesn't look like it's in sync right now. I will tell you this much. As much as I like the Titans, I'm still contemplating if I want to take the Rams in Survivor. And the only reason I want to take the Rams in Survivor, I don't like taking road teams either, but I want to use Matt Stafford early while there's some semblance of health still in him.
Yeah, I don't mind getting cute even early on, especially if there's a rebuy in a Survivor pool. So in my Survivor pool that had a rebuy, I took the Colts week 1 to be different. I just think you take the free square this week, which is the Ravens over the Browns. I think you just lay it up.
Like where your head's at. I can't say I hate it. I am. By the way, you want to hear the shake up? I'm in an actual like a loser Survivor pool, where you got to pick the loser each week instead of the winner.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Well, you're a loser, so it works out well.
I can recognize it right away. It's like having gaydar, right? Oh,
so last week I took the Lions, right? Because most people are picking the worst teams. Last week I took the Lions. This week I'm taking the Eagles. Like I'm looking for teams actively that are going to be good teams and take them now, so I have more pick equity down the road with the really bad teams.
Yeah, well, that's what I try to do as well. But when I look at the board and all the best plays for Survivor picks or road teams, or you have the choice of picking a divisional game of Dallas over the Giants, which I kind of think happens, but I don't know if I can trust Dallas. and then on top of it, you look at the Ravens, who are roughly 12-point favorites, they're double-digit favorites. They're going to win in their home opener. I don't think they go to 0-2 like they did last year, but stranger things have happened.
That is true. All right. Well, that'll do it. Make sure you give Jeremy a follow at JCon Sports. Give me a follow at Mark Zinno on X. Thumbs up to this video, guys. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We give you Titans plus 5.5 as our best bet. Go back and check the college video if you haven't done it. Make sure you guys look at that. And we'll be back doing this each and every week throughout the NFL and college season. And I'll figure out all these graphics and make it all work for us as we go forward. So, again, hit us up. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And we'll be back next week for another edition here of Top Dogs. Have a great weekend. Go cash some tickets.